Bypass door overlap is the amount of coverage between two doors in a bypass door opening, or maybe in a bypass door opening where both of the doors are meant to go to one side. So bypass door overlap is that dimensional amount. So the easiest way to think about it is, if you had a pair of sliding doors in a bedroom and they're bypass, and if you had two, and I'm making a little sketch, if you had two doors in your bypassing closet doors in the bedroom, if you had a 72-inch opening and you used two 36-inch doors, well, that math seems to work. However, when the doors are in the fully closed position, they would have no overlap between them. And you might, if the doors were just a teeny bit under, be able to see through that, or if the opening was a little bit too wide. So it's standard that the doors don't flush together like this, but they actually overlap, shown like this. So you've got your sliding doors there. These doors just slide. And this is from a plan view. Okay, so if you were going to do a bypass opening and your doors were 36-inch each, you're going to want to make that opening size slightly smaller. So that you had the overlap between the two doors, as shown here. Now, it's important to know what your amount of overlap is, because the length of the track that you might use, or the net width of the doors, has to be determined. And when you're building an opening, it's important to start with knowing something. So if you had, in our example, if you had a pair of bypassing closet doors that were 60-inch, and you knew that your track was going to be, we can really pick anything, but it would be typical if the track was 1 inch smaller, so that it would be 59-inch. So you have to be mindful in the sense of knowing what the overlap is, because it will directly relate to what size track are you already getting, and what is that rough opening size, and then what size doors do you have to use. So the reason that the track would be 1 inch smaller than your finished opening is because it's most likely that you have stock doors from the commercial door supplier like us, or your lumber yard. You're not going to order doors that are, in this case, 30.5 inch. You're going to get them 30-inch, because 30.5 would be quite custom. So if you're dealing with stock 2'6" doors or 30-inch doors, that track needs to be an inch smaller, and the opening needs to be an inch smaller than 60-inch, because you've got to have that overlap. There have been people who have miscalculated that installation and found out that, oh gosh, I thought I needed two 30-inch doors, and now I can kind of see right through them. And you will see right through them when you look at an angle. When you look at this angle, you will see into the opening. Because generally there's a 1/2 inch overlap on each side, making a total of 1 inch. So 1 inch is that standard size for what that would be. And you're going to find in the industry that your bypass kits are indeed going to be 1 inch short. The bottom line is, it doesn't have to be 1 inch. It's just you need to determine, what net door width do I have, what length track can I achieve, and what is my rough opening. So if any of those are determined, work from there. If you have a rough opening that's this, make sure that your nominal door width is, that dimension divided by 2 plus half. So, in this case, if you had a 60-inch opening, divide that in half and then add a 1/2 inch for a 1 inch overlap. So 30.5 inch doors. Something will have to be defined. But there are instances when the hardware manufacturer must know the overlap, where you have sequenced or simultaneous pairs of sliding doors, they have to know exactly how big that opening is. They have to know how much the overlap is, I should say, so that the rest of the hardware can be determined, whether that be the length of the track or knowing what the instructions have to read for finished opening. Also, if you have pieces of hardware, like in our bypass closet example, if you have a sliding bypass door keyed lock that you've installed into it, you have a, whatever the reason is, you want to lock up that closet, you have to know the overlap so that you position the lock set hole through the door to install that lock at the proper distance from the edge. So lots of reasons why, but that is exactly what a bypass door overlap dimension is. And if you have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.